He, in the Christian Bible, the Old Testament, there's a story of the king's son. His name's Jonathan, and he has a friend, David. I mean, David is not of the same rank as, the heir apparent, Jonathan, but they are equal friends. They value each other, just perfect friends. And even though, as it turns out, as life progresses for them, that Saul, their dad, the king, is incredibly jealous of David and his achievements in fighting the enemy and so forth, that Saul actually wants to kill David and tries to do it. And David doesn't take advantage of his opportunities to kill the king instead. And it occurs to me strongly it's because it's his best friend's dad. Of course, we see it in the story as well, because he's king and I'm loyal to the king. But now his real loyalty is to his friend, Jonathan. There's no way he's going to be responsible for killing his dad. And later we hear of God that David is a man after my own heart, in spite of David being an adulterer and a murderer and a man of war and someone who no way can God have building his temple. And yet still he says, no, David is a man after my own heart. You see, there is no way he is going to kill his best friend's dad. And as the story progresses, and I probably mean story, not history, but as the story progresses, David becomes king. And his own son, Absalom, at some point seizes the throne from him, from his dad. But no way can his dad defend himself against such, because he loves his son. Presumably Jonathan's died somewhere before this happens. We don't hear of Jonathan again, I don't think. But anyway, Absalom is the now heir apparent. And not only was he heir apparent, but he's taken the throne and driven his dad out. And as it happens, a loyal general of David comes to the rescue, and Absalom has a timely accident, gets caught in a tree and torn off his horse. His hair catches in the branches, and presumably it breaks his neck. He's dead. So I wouldn't say the general killed him, but certainly looked as though he was out to. And so David returns to his throne. And his heir apparent, Solomon. Oh yeah, I got the story muddled up, haven't I? It seems that well, you should read the story, shouldn't you? So Solomon, known for his wisdom, succeeds David after his death. I was struck very early on, years and years ago, by the fact that Solomon sounds like solo man, a man on his own. He is reported to have had, it's almost certainly mythical, 300 wives and 700 concubines. You can't imagine what a mother-in-law problem that could cause you. And in fact seemed to be the downfall of his nation, in that it probably brought in all their diverse religious faiths from those other cultures that he married himself into, almost certainly to give him political alliances and increase the safety of the country. A wise thing to do in some ways, but not so wise in the long run. He was the epitome, in fact, of debauchery, although it's never cited as such. And the outcome, of course, is ruin. Ruin for the country. The nation gets divided into north and south, and one calamity follows another. You see, love has to be singular. We love God. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. But then it says, and thy neighbour as thyself. And we're aware that God, who has created all, loves what is made, loves and cares for it all. We are children of God. How wonderful. So, it's not that loving him means not loving others. It just means that we should be very conscious of putting him first. He's our priority if we want to get things in perspective and not end up with transitory chaos, which is what we experience here in the world of good and of evil, so that we might know and learn what is good and hold to it eternally. Bless you. Thank you, Dad.